What's up guys, Mike here. We're going to talk a little bit about the Logitech Brio 4K Pro webcam, whether or not it makes sense for you during this coronavirus outbreak and working from home. So let's go ahead and get started. This is one of the best, if not the best, webcams available right now. So I had just picked this up from Best Buy. They just became in stock at the regular retail price of $199. At its lowest price point is $160, but really you're not going to be able to find that price right now. This is the big brother and a much newer webcam compared to the de facto standard, which is the Logitech C920. This is probably the best webcam for most people, and the one that I would recommend everybody look to try to get one. And fortunately, it is often out of stock in most places. You can get the C90, C920, C922. They're all pretty much the same thing. Some of them have a privacy cover on here, but really you just have to unplug it for privacy features. Okay, enough about this one. The question is whether or not you should get the 4K Pro webcam version. And they haven't changed anything about this. It's been about 3 years now, but it's still the best. It's so good that even Apple has started to use this with their super ultra expensive iMac 27, except that one comes with a magnetic mount. Other than that, it's exactly the same thing, and it still also sells for $200 as well, directly from appledirect.com. So this has some other features that you will not be able to find in the C920 series, which is what I recommend. Obviously, 4K is a big headline feature on there, but one of the other major things on here is that it has these other infrared sensors on here. The infrared camera is great because it's going to support Windows Hello, which if you hate logging into your computer, that's a nice added feature on there because it can use face recognition to log you into your computer. And it's relatively secure, much more secure than just typing in a couple digit 4-pin code, for instance. So that's one of the main things that you can get out of here, besides the 4K and the better image quality sensor, as well as potentially the lens as well. So I'm going to go ahead and see what else is in here. A lot of the things that you get from going with the Logitech ecosystem have to do with, obviously, the name brand, the backing, the software that you can use to customize your own system and your own setup and the way you communicate with others on here. So that's something you're not going to find in a really cheap webcam. Even the one that are reviewed by Lenovo has very limited adjustments. So something from Logitech is going to be a much bigger improvement on there. Some people have considered everything that you install on the Logitech webcams bloatware, and I did for a while too, so a lot of times I didn't use it because the image quality looked great out of the box in general as far as webcams are concerned. So now, though, we're in 2020 and all these computers have much more faster, better processing power. So it's less of a problem now than ever before. So while they still keep adding features on there, before in the past, I'd not install them if I just want a straight up webcam or something just to meet on GoToMeetings or Zooms. I primarily use GoToMeetings. Then, you can do without the software. If you go with a really cheap webcam, the chances are that the imaging and the time spent in tweaking the image processing and the colors, fidelity, all these other things, sharpness, all go to the wayside. That is just really low on the priority. And when you're paying for something super cheap, you just don't have access to having good control over the hardware. I haven't unboxed one of these in a really long time, 3 years probably. I did unbox one really early on, and it looks like the same thing. The packaging might be a little bit different from back then, but So let's take a close look at this right here. I'm going to peel that right off, and as you can see right here, this is of course the main camera lens, and the sensor's right behind that. Compared to cheap ones, this one actually has an autofocus. Okay, so you're going to get clearer, more image quality. It's going to be able to focus really close up onto your face, or if you want to show up anything up towards the screen, has an autofocus feature on there. Now, given in 2020, they did release a new webcam, and that's their new Stream Cam, designed for streamers supposedly, and that has better, faster autofocus. So, if that matters a lot more to you than the image sensor, that could be something to be considered if you want to go ahead and do a lot of close-ups, or you move a lot on the camera, you want things in focus really well. There's also a dual array microphone. You can see 2 microphones right here. And that is so 3 or 4 years ago. You know, I imagine the next gen webcams are going to have way more microphones to do better noise cancellation. So I'll tell you right off the bat, if you are the main presenter of something in a Zoom call or a conference, this isn't going to be enough for you. Okay, this is if you're going to be answering, if you're going to be asking questions periodically, you're not going to be the main speaker on these Zoom or conference calls. You're going to want to get a USB microphone if you're serious. If you're a serious presenter, you're the main presenter, you're presenting a lot of people. But for casual Zoom calls, if you're just asking or calling in to talk about certain things and you are by yourself, this is okay. You're understandable. It'll come through, but it's just not going to be the best. Still, this is by far better than any of the really cheap webcams that are out there. This is still, they haven't improved that much on the C920 here with the microphone from what I recall. Yeah, so keep that in mind. Get a separate USB microphone. In fact, some of these newer webcams don't even have a microphone because they know they just don't do a good job anyway. All right, so there's a little mount. Okay, so this other one right over here is the infrared for the Windows Hello. And this basically allows it to go ahead and do basically face recognition to unlock your computer. All right, so that's pretty nice to have. Okay. The mount, let me see, is this interchangeable? Is this mount interchangeable? Not directly. So this basically just clips onto the back of your computer screen and it's adjustable in tilt. All right, but not rotation wise. This can't rotate or, you know, yaw or anything like that. It just tilts up or down. That's about it. Which is unfortunate because 4 years later, sometimes you have a different scenario where you need to rotate it so that it doesn't exactly show everything. All right, with that in mind, this does have a 90-degree wide angle, so this is going to get wider than what this does. Okay, so this will be wider, allows you to be more flexible in terms of exactly what is covered, because you can do a digital zoom in, and at 4K, there's that's another one of the benefits of getting 4K, is that if you're just going to zoom in on a part of the screen or zoom in on a part of what you're showing on the camera, it's going to come out to be a lot less blurry. Okay. USB-C, yes, thank you. This has been changed USB-C 3 years ago. That is fantastic. I definitely appreciate that. Let's see what else is in here. They should have USB-A to USB-C cable, but of course you can switch that out to any standard USB-C cable. Let's see if I can get this out here without ripping and taking apart the pages. All right, look what we have here. This looks like it's a little privacy thing that you just clip on top. So if you want a little bit of privacy, put that on top. This shuts it down. You know, I honestly don't remember if they gave this with the camera 3 or 4 years ago. I should have no recollection of that. And then you have the USB-A to USB-C. There's USB 3 on one side. Okay. And basically, if you have a computer that you purchased within the last 2 years, you're going to be fine. It's going to work just fine with the 4K streaming cam. I know that you need a relatively more powerful processor to handle that. In fact, a lot of when this came out, a lot of the computers did not have, a lot of the computers you purchased did not have 4K screens, right? So this sort of came out well before its time. Oh, good, nice travel case. This is a leatherette feeling type of cotton case that you can keep your webcam in there and prevent it from getting scratches. So that's all that's in there. Oh, this has a little bit of adjustment down here too. So these little things kind of help when you are trying to set up the webcam, and that is definitely something that's appreciated. So here's all the articulation and stuff that you can go ahead and do. So should you get it? If you can get it in stock And if you can get it for $160 and you're thinking, look, I'm not going to want to upgrade these anytime soon, then yeah, it makes sense. Go ahead and try to get one, particularly now during Corona. These things are not going to be on discount anyway. And these were going upwards of $200. Whereas, you know, back before the pandemic, when people weren't really using a lot of these, you could pick these up for $60-some. $130 right now is roughly retail. Just the other day, they were available in Sam's Club, but they sold out within minutes at $64. Now that's a pretty good deal right now. For $160, without getting too technical on here, you're getting the best webcam that you can buy. The best straight up plug and play webcam that you can buy right now. And it's good enough for Apple to use. And it is good enough for anybody who's presenting to use. It's got really decent color and quality. The microphones are okay. If you are an occasional speaker, you should. If you are doing a pro presentation, presenting to a lot of people, definitely get a USB microphone. Everybody's going to appreciate you for doing that for the better quality. And when you're working at home, there's a lot of background sounds around. You just really want to get a USB microphone up close as possible to you as possible for that. But for a plug-and-play solution, this is still the one to get. This is still the one to beat. This is still the de facto standard. There is still no one that creates a better 4K webcam. All right. Now, if you're interested in a more technical review and more details about this, showing what the new software and the features are like, which is one of the main reasons why you get a Logitech, is you got the software and the support. Check out back on my channel. I have links down below. I'm going to have follow-up videos about all that and see what's new, what's not new, what's worth it to install and run, and what's not. So that's in an upcoming video. All right, that's it for this. If you have any questions, basic questions about this, please let me know. Really, most of us are going to use this as plug and play. We're not going to get too technical with it, and it's going to look great. So I'm going to do some technical stuff. We're going to get a little bit more deeper in detail in this in upcoming more technical videos. So if you really like to geek out on that type of stuff, you probably want to stay tuned, as I'm going to do some comparisons with all that and check out the software in depth. All right, that's it for this video. Please give it a like, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you next one. Thanks.